Hey guys, I'm Marcus. I unfortunately don't have a fun demo. I've got a slide deck, probably because in a past life I was a consultant, so hard to break the habit. But anyway, I'm going to be talking about CT+2, which is a protocol we've been researching that effectively slows down transaction settlement for fun and profit. So what it is it's an intent pre-settlement protocol built on Suave. What that means is a user can send a intent. So intents, for those that are unaware, are basically unopinionated transactions. So something like, I want to sell ETH at least $3,000. Kind of like a limit order, but there's a little bit more nuance there. But anyway, they can send an intent to a exchange that's run on a blockchain called Suave. Suave is a blockchain that Flashbots is releasing. Then the important part there is that every node runs a trusted execution environment, which allows us to keep the exchange private, and other important things that I'll talk about more later. But anyway, user sends the intent to a Suave exchange. It gets picked up by a taker. At this point, the user is instantly confirmed. So they had like 3,000 USDC pops up in their account balance. They can keep trading with that, even though no funds have actually moved on the main chain yet. The taker then holds this position in inventory, and they can now decide where and when they actually want to go settle that trade. So they can go and decide, okay, I want to settle it on CowSwap in 10 blocks, or like, I want to go settle it on Arbitrum, stuff like that. So let's talk a little bit about why that's important. Basically, in intent settlement, there's 4 main decisions that happen. There's a what, when, where, and how. The what is defining like what you actually want to do. The when and where is what venue you're settling on and at what time you're settling. And the how is how you're actually sourcing the liquidity to execute that intent. So what we're doing here is we're abstracting the user further away from those decisions. Users typically only care about the what, and they're only really equipped to handle that what. They just know that they want to sell ETH. They don't care where it happens. They just want a certain price, right? But currently in incumbent intent flow, the user's in charge of deciding the what, when, and where a solver decides, and then a solver decides the how, and their job is to actually go and source the liquidity. So they might be a market maker or just like a specialized actor that is running a router, basically. So what we do is we allow a taker to decide the when and the where, which better monetizes the user's order flow and allows us to pass more value back to them. So let's talk a little bit more about specifics of value generation. So I ran some preliminary estimates a while back, and a trader using this for the ETH-USD pair on-chain would be saving around 87.86% in trading fees per trade. The more trades you do on the platform, the more you save as you're doing actual settlement less often, and you save around 54% on gas fees per trade. So that's already huge. That's value that we can directly give back to the user. But then in addition to that, takers can also monetize via funding rate arbitrage, since in-inventory unsettled intents are similar to futures positions. So they can go settle, or they can go hedge that on Binance and collect funding while maintaining delta neutrality. And then there's the lower trading fees that we talked about. And then there's also some interesting stuff that you can do since in-inventory intents are effectively on-demand private order flow. So block builders can utilize this to get an advantage in block building auctions, which is very important for like SexDex, arbitrage, capture. Then the other side of this that we haven't really discussed yet is the UX improvements that you get. So one, users get extremely fast confirmations. The exchange that we're running on Suave is run inside a trusted execution environment. So that means it runs on one server because it doesn't actually participate in consensus because everything is private. So you don't need to participate in consensus. This means that your intent is settled as fast as like Binance would settle it. Then you also have chain abstraction. We can structure transactions for any chain from our trusted execution environment. So you can settle on Arbitrum, Optimism. The user doesn't know. They don't care. They're just interacting with our app that's running in Suave. Then you also have DeFi abstraction because we can handle any intent that has a settlement auction on-chain. So the millions and millions of dollars that are being thrown into intent research and funding that, we can leverage all of that to expand our app's functionality. And I'm almost out of time, so I will rush past this last slide as it's a little bit lengthy. But basically, this is all possible because of trusted execution environments. They allow you to do a lot of very interesting things and run pretty much arbitrary code that can be executed on a blockchain in a trustless way. So great stuff. And yeah, this is my contact info. I'm always happy to talk about this. Thanks for the time.